So now let us start with the first topic, that is the meaning of the word science. See, this word science comes from a Latin verb which means to know, and the Latin verb is scientia. So basically the meaning of the word science is to know something. In Sanskrit the word vijnan, and in Arabian language the word ilm also has same meaning, to know. So altogether science, scientia, vijnan and ilm has the same meaning. And what is the meaning? To know. But science is not just to know anything anyhow. Science means to have organized knowledge about any phenomena, right? So how we can define what is science? See, science is a systematic attempt of understanding any natural phenomena. Just stress on this word, systematic attempt. Now what do you mean by systematic attempt to understand any natural phenomena? For example, if you are observing the seasons in India, then see, we have summers from March to roughly about mid-June, and the temperature is roughly from 25 to 45 degree. And after that, from mid-June to mid-September, we have monsoon, and the temperature during monsoon is roughly from 30 to 35. Now, suppose this year I have measured the temperature and the time interval of the season. That is from March to mid-June we have summer. Now, previous year also I have measured. Before that, a year before that also I have measured, and every time the time interval remains same, whether it changes, whether the temperature of summer or temperature of monsoon, are they remaining same as I have recorded in the previous year, or are they changing? So what I'll do, I'll prepare a tabular form, and in that I will be mentioning every year what is the temperature and what is the time interval during which the season ends. So this is known as scientific attempt to record my observations and to check whether these observations are being carried forwarded or they are changing every year. Okay, so that is scientific attempt. We are going to study this in detail afterwards. But just now, just see. So science is the systematic attempt to understand natural phenomena in detail. After understanding the natural phenomena, after gaining the organized knowledge about that natural phenomena, what we will do? We will be able to predict the temperature of the next monsoon season or the temperature of the next summer season. Why? Because we have some organized knowledge about the phenomena of the seasons, about the temperature and about the time duration of the season. So we can predict that what will be the temperature in next monsoon or what will be the time duration of the monsoon next year. Okay, after this what we can do? We can either modify or control the phenomena. How we can do this? See, suppose if we are taking measurements of monsoon season, we'll check the time duration, we'll check the temperature also, and we'll measure the rainfall also. You all might be knowing that the rainfall is measured in inches. न्यूज़पेपर में आप पढ़ते होंगे मॉनसून सीजन में कि कहां पर कितनी बारिश हुई है, कितने इंचेस बारिश हुई है. Sorry. So after measuring the rainfall, again we can compare the data. Every year you are measuring the rainfall and every year you are comparing the data. So suppose आपको ये चीज मिलती है कि जैसे जैसे पोल्यूशन बढ़ रहा है तो हमारा रेनफॉल जो है वो कम हो रहा है. तो एक चीज हमको समझ में आती है कि नाउ इफ वी वांट टू इंक्रीज द रेनफॉल, व्हाट वी नीड टू डू, वी नीड टू डिक्रीज पोल्यूशन. So this way you can modify or you can control the natural phenomena. So अब ये pollution के साथ rainfall का क्या relation है, ये कैसे पता चला? हम जो observations ले रहे थे तो उस observation में हम हमारे आसपास में दूसरे कौन से phenomena हैं, दूसरी कौन सी चीजें हैं जिसको हम रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं, उसको वो कैसे अफेक्ट करती है, ये सारी चीजों का हम ध्यान रखते हैं. Then it is known as scientific attempt. So we are going to study this scientific attempt or scientific approach in detail afterwards. At present, this much is enough. So now see, what is science? Science is exploring, experimenting, and predicting from what we have seen around us. Okay? So, just remember these two definitions for now. Scientific method in this chapter we are going to study, but after certain topics. Okay, now see, physics is a branch of science. Now, this word physics comes from a Greek word, and the meaning of that Greek word is nature. So, what was the meaning of the word science? It was to know. And what is the meaning of the word physics? Nature. Right? The word physics comes from a Greek word which is physic. In Sanskrit, the word is bhautiki. Again, it means nature. And from this word bhautiki, we have a word bhautik vigyan. So, physics is known as bhautik vigyan in either Gujarati or in Hindi. So, basically, what is physics? Physics is to have knowledge about nature, to understand nature is known as physics. Okay, now the next topic. Two principal thrusts in physics. See, this is a very important question which is asked from this chapter, that which are the two main areas of thrusts in physics. Means आपको कौन से topic पे जोर देना है when you are studying the branch physics. So the two areas are unification and reductionism. First we'll understand unification. See, there are many phenomena taking place around us, and suppose we have a knowledge of one law. Then what we'll try to do, we'll try to explain all those phenomena depending on that one law. For example, just see here, falling of a body. Suppose if I drop this pen, then it will go down. So falling of this pen, then the planetary motions, all the planets revolve around sun. Then rotation of moon around earth. If I want to explain all these phenomena, then one law is enough. Which is that one law? That is Newton's law of gravity. This what I have done, that I have explained this very simple phenomena of falling of this pen and a very complex phenomena of planetary motion by the help of one common law. This is known as unification. Now, why we need this unification? Because see, if I am explaining each and every phenomena depending on different laws, I am framing one law for this phenomena, another law for this phenomena, and another law for this phenomena, then in total I'll have 3 laws. So these are only few phenomena. Then likewise we have plenty of natural phenomena. So for each and every phenomena, if I go on framing different laws, then at the end I will end up with plenty of laws and everything will become very complex. So suppose if I have knowledge of this law, universal law of gravitation, this you have studied in 9th standard. So suppose if I am having knowledge of this law and I am observing different phenomena around me, what I will try to do, I will try to find out explanation of those phenomena depending on this one law. Every time, definitely, I am not going to succeed. See, suppose if I want to explain the directional flow of electrons in a conductor when potential difference is created, okay, then the universal law of gravitation will not be able to explain. Who will be able to explain that? Ohm's law, right? With the help of Ohm's law, you will be able to explain that as the potential increases, the current also increases. This you have studied in 10th standard. So every time you will not succeed in the process of unifying different phenomena under same law, but most of the time you will be able to explain different phenomena on the basis of one common law, and this is known as unification. So see, in physics, attempts are made to explain various physical phenomena in terms of just a few concepts and laws. This is known as unification. So once again, see these different phenomena. This is a very simple phenomena, terrestrial phenomena, okay? And this planetary motions is a very complex phenomena. I'm explaining both this phenomena. I can give explanation, complete explanation of both this phenomena by using Newton's law of gravity. Then this is known as unification. Every time you won't be able to unify, okay? Like I gave the example of directional flow of electrons in a conductor. That cannot be explained on the basis of Newton's law of gravity. बट जितना हम कर सकते हैं उतना तो करेंगे ही. तो हमारा फायदा क्या होगा इसमें कि नंबर ऑफ लॉज विच वी हैव टू स्टडी विल बी मिनिमम. वी वांट टू कीप द लॉज मिनिमम. ओके, सो दैट इज यूनिफिकेशन. नेक्स्ट वन इज रिडक्शनिज्म. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय रिडक्शनिज्म? See in the word reduction means to reduce, means to decrease. See, in our day-to-day life we observe many natural phenomena, and certain phenomena are very complex, whether they are natural phenomena or man-made phenomena. Certain phenomena are very complex to understand. So what we do, we'll just break those complex processes into small steps. Then we'll try to understand those small steps, and after you understand all the small steps, then you will have the knowledge of the complex process. So that is known as reductionism. So see, we'll take one example. Suppose if you have coal, you are burning the coal, and with the help of this coal you are running the fan in your home. Now how this process can be done? See, the coal is burning, and with the help of this we are running a fan. Now this as such to understand is a little bit difficult. So what we'll do, this is a complex process. We'll just break this process into small steps. So what are those small steps? When you burn the coal, then what happens? The chemical energy, okay, it gets converted into heat energy. Then this heat energy is converted into steam energy. With the help of this heat energy, water is heated, and that water is converted into steam. So steam will have energy. You know that when you pressurize, means you have steam in a closed container, then it will create pressure, and that pressure is known as steam energy. You can do work with that pressure, and that's why it is known as steam energy. This steam energy is further used to run a turbine. So here the steam energy is converted into mechanical energy. Then this turbine is connected with a generator. In 10th standard, you have seen generator and motor. So this turbine is connected with a generator, the coil is rotated, and this generator is going to produce electric energy. And with this electric energy, what will happen? The fan in your home will be rotating, and the electrical energy will be converted into wind energy. Okay, so see, all these steps are involved in this process. So this is a complex process. What we did, we just divided this whole process into small steps. Now we'll only understand this much, that how chemical energy is converted into heat energy. After that, the another step is heat energy is converted into steam energy. The next step is steam energy is used to run the turbine. So this way, one by one, we'll study all the steps, and after you understand all these steps, then easily you will be able to understand this process. So here, this what we have done is known as reductionism. We break the complex process into small steps. So we try to understand a complex process from very simple steps. So now we'll see the definition of reductionism. See, attempts are made to explain macroscopic system in terms of its microscopic constituents. What is macroscopic and what is microscopic? All what you can see with your eyes is known as macroscopic, and all which you need a microscope to see, right, is known as microscopic. So in if we want to understand any macroscopic system, then we should have the knowledge of its microscopic constituents. So the attempts which are made to explain macroscopic system in terms of its microscopic constituents. Macroscopic system is related to the complex process, and this microscopic constituent is related with the small steps. Okay, so one example I have shown you. This is the another example. See, thermodynamics. This is one branch of physics which we'll be studying in future. So thermodynamics deals with bulk system. Bulk system means, see, if I see this pen, I can say that this is a pen only. But someone who has the knowledge of science, what he'll say that this is group of molecules. Further, this is group of atoms. Then again in detail, this is group of atoms is made up of what? Nucleus and electrons. So someone will say that this is group of nucleus and electrons. Then again further if you go, then nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons. Further, protons and neutrons are made up of quarks. So someone can say that this is a group of quarks and electrons. Okay, so thermodynamic, the branch, it deals with a bulk system as whole. Means in that we'll study the property of this pen, not the property of individual particle. I won't be studying the property of nucleus out of which this pen is made. I will study the property of this pen. Property of this pen means, suppose if I'm not able to bend this pen, or I'm not able to heat this pen as it is a plastic. So like that way, if I am studying, then that is known as bulk system, studying the property of the bulk matter. Bulk means the pen as whole. Okay, and the microscopic constituent means if I study the properties of nucleus of this pen, then that is known as microscopic studies. So now see, thermodynamic is a branch of physics which deals with bulk systems. Temperature, like, see, this is the property, temperature. It is a macroscopic quantity. Macroscopic quantity, what is the heat of this pen? So that if I say that this much, if I give any number that this is the temperature of this pen, then that is known as macroscopic quantity. So temperature is macroscopic quantity. I won't be individually measuring the temperature of each and every nucleus of this pen and then adding all the temperature and then giving answer that temperature of this pen is so and so. I won't be doing that. Okay, so temperature is a macroscopic quantity. हम पूरे पेन का ही टेम्परेचर बता देंगे, ऐसे इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल्स का टेम्परेचर नहीं बताएंगे. सो दैट इज डन इन थर्मोडायनामिक्स. नाउ इन काइनेटिक थियोरी ऑफ गैसेस, दिस अगेन यू विल बी स्टडिंग इन फ्यूचर इन 11th स्टैंडर्ड. आगे चैप्टर आएगा काइनेटिक थियोरी ऑफ गैसेस, सो देयर यू आर गोइंग टू स्टडी दिस. सो इन काइनेटिक थियोरी एंड इन स्टैटिस्टिकल मैकेनिक्स, टेम्परेचर is related with average kinetic energy of molecules of system. So thermodynamics deals with temperature as a macroscopic quantity, but this is another branch, kinetic theory of gases. Here you are going to study temperature as the microscopic constituent of this material. यहाँ गैसेस के बारे में पढ़ने वाले हैं हम, तो गैसेस का इंडिविजुअल मॉलिक्यूल का टेम्परेचर कितना होगा, उनके टेम्परेचर के हिसाब से उनकी काइनेटिक एनर्जी होगी. ठीक है, तो जब आप काइनेटिक थियोरी ऑफ गैसेस पढ़ेंगे तो वहां इंडिविजुअल मॉलिक्यूल का टेम्परेचर देखा जाएगा. जबकि आप थर्मोडायनेमिक्स पढ़ोगे तो थर्मोडायनेमिक्स में अगर मुझे इस पेन का टेम्परेचर बताना है तो मैं इंडिविजुअल मॉलिक्यूल का नहीं बताऊंगी, मैक्रोस्कोपिक क्वांटिटी माना जाता है टेम्परेचर इन थर्मोडायनेमिक्स. सो पूरी पेन का ही टेम्परेचर मैं बता दूंगी. सो इन रिडक्शनिज्म व्हाट वी डू, नॉट लाइक दिस, वी डू लाइक दिस, वी स्टडी लाइक दिस, व्हाट वी हैव डन इन काइनेटिक थियोरी ऑफ gases.